Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 0C of What If Deku Was an Oni Slayer. 3 days in a row for this one, basically because I wanted to do all three parts of part 0. So, in this one, I'm going to say basically a small parkour of what Deku can do. The amount of the Onis he hunted, the powers he got from enchanting items with them, the items that have been enchanted, basically to use them, as well as after that, basically saying a bit of this story. Well, the strength he has fully after that. After that, how Deku will finally know the name of his master. Because basically the way it will happen for that is literally that right before leaving, Deku will finally ask a single question. What is your name? Which he asked multiple times, but his master told him only when your training will be done. So for now, that's basically just going like that. So Deku, basically for the rest of the time until 7 years has passed, basically 7 years exactly have passed between him arriving in that world and him leaving that world. He will learn many things. Well, basically, now, Deku, after where we were in the last part, started trying to train himself in specific type of magic over time to basically increase it to be stronger against those type of Onis. Basically, over the course of 2 years, each of his magic have basically increased to the point of him, if he wanted to, being able to, for fire magic, burn down an entire forest in a single attack, which, not a massive forest, more like something you would find in a park or something like that, like over 3 or 4 cubic kilometer of forest, which is huge still, but it's not one of the massive forests. That's pretty much a small one. But he would be able to burn that all in one go, using up all of his magic, but still. With his eyes, he could probably, if he tries to make a precise path. Okay, what the hell was that? I don't know. Yeah, but if he wants to make a precise path of around 1 meter from one side to the other, he could probably tie up Japan to Australia pretty easily. Well, not really Japan to Australia, but basically the island of Japan all the way to the main island, well, continent, I mean, which is a lot less than Australia. But yeah, so that's for ice. He would be able to make a path that long, which is pretty impressive, but yeah. Actually, the hunter is weaker than Deku by that point. Well, no, by the point that he leaves, I mean. So Deku basically take those two in consideration and think Ice is the strongest one he trained. After that, Fire is not really the second strongest, it's actually in the middle. But yeah, basically take all of his different elements, and you can basically push him to well, yeah, basically you can push them all to a certain amount. All of them are pretty freaking strong, to be honest. Like, in My Hero Academia, pro heroes are pretty much a lot stronger than what he would be. But others, well, not really all of them, but more like All Might, I just have Shoto in my head, but no, his dad, Endeavor. Thank you. He would be stronger. I mean, not being able to beat him, but he would still be regarded as stronger than him because Deku never goes all out. Physical strength, if I don't count the Onis that I'm going to explain later, after 2 years, which brings him at, I think, 3 years and a month. His pure physical strength right now is about basically he would probably be able to lift in the 20 tons without enhancing his body, and he would still be able to do it kind of easily. Speed-wise, he can run faster than a car. Basically, in this precise moment, at 3 years and a month, he is at the exact same strength as the hunter that is training Deku. Not because he has a super intense, super extreme way of increasing in strength. It's more because compared to anyone else who passed through the training normally, Deku's only concentrating on that. Meaning that compared to, everyone else that normally does the training, he's increasing faster because he wants to do that and only that. Meaning he has nothing to basically block his path and doesn't have anything that makes him his training slower. So Deku's basically just increasing in strength at what you would think a normal rate if you don't take time to basically do other things that normally people do, like relaxing, sleeping, since he doesn't need to do that. Because normally this spell, I have to pause. Sorry. But yeah, the sleeping spell normally, they kind of teach it to you at the end of the training. Which means that Deku basically has a spell that he shouldn't have already. But he still decided to basically take it. Well, his master basically taught it to him anyway. Making Deku's life a lot easier in terms of sleeping, since he doesn't need to. So, that made Deku increase a lot faster than what they normally do, because normally when they train, they're supposed to basically sleep for about 8 to 9 hours to basically let them recover. Since Deku didn't do that, he doesn't have the problem of needing it. Um, after all of that, basically that made him increase way faster than anyone. So his master was surprised that he was increasing that fast until he realized that. So yeah, when Deku basically arrived at that point and was as strong as his master wasn't that surprised anymore. Because normally him to be precise, not every hunter, they keep training after everything is done. But him in particular, he didn't actually do that. The moment he basically got to go out, the way he was increasing his strength was by taking more Onis. Meaning that, yes, it made him quite a powerhouse from Oni standpoint, but his own body is basically the same as someone who just completed training, aka Deku right now. So the hunter did, Vladimir, because the question I asked in the last video, basically only one person answered. He said Vladimir, so that's the one I'm going with. But yeah, basically, Vladimir started training just because of Deku, meaning he's a bit stronger now. But yeah, after that, basically, Deku only kept training, increasing his strength, learning more, kind of, from his master. He met two other people who just kind of taught him how to use, um, a bit better some of the things. Since Deku has knows how to use every different type of weapons, from Japanese weapons to, practically anything. Since he grew up in a world where um, other things can be there, he basically tried to create his own types of weapon multiple times. Didn't really work that well for multiple of them. But yeah. So by the end of the 7 years, Deku's basically put him at like 3 times what his master was when Deku met him. And his master was around 30%, 30 to 35% the strength of All Might just naturally, which means Deku is about the same strength as All Might, which is pretty powerful. But remember one thing, Deku never goes all out. Actually, most of the time he's only going at like 20 to 30%. Even when someone tells him to go all out, he just goes that point. Well, it was mostly his master telling him to go all out, but still. So, Deku would not show it to anyone right now that he is stronger or as strong as All Might. But yeah, he kind of is. So, Deku, for the Onis he got about 14 of them, if I count the ring. Each of them were all because of how they decided to hunt, which was pretty good for Deku. Most of the time his master was taking them, but yeah, basically Deku, if he wanted to, could have taken some, but he basically let his master take them, so he didn't. He still have a total amount of 14, and the reason he only has that much is because he told his master that he's going to have a lot to hunt in his world, which is true. So his master basically accepted that he only took that much. Now, for the powers he got from them, he has his earring, which is healing, which that's the one I met, and not just ring. Actually, he has 2 earrings now, one with healing and one with magic recovery, basically increasing the amount of magic your body produces if it can produce it. This one in particular increases it by twice the time, well, twice the amount, which makes Deku pretty much, well, recovering. Well, he has about, well, if I were to put a number on the amount of spell he would make, if he were to go all out and truly make the fireball that would destroy a 4 kilometer square a forest, he could use that probably like 2 or 3 times, and just doing like a quarter of that basically normally, well, his master, the 20 meters, yeah, that he did of radius around him in the first part, that's basically half of his magic. Deku can do 4 kilometer of that. It's massive. So, oh yeah, as well, you cannot harm yourself with your own magic. That's one thing I forgot to say. Unless you truly want to, but normally people don't want that. But yeah, so those are for the 2 earrings. He has 5 rings in total. 1 ring is teleportation. If he knows, well, if he looks for someone, basically using the scan ability, and knows exactly where they are, he can teleport to them. Problem is, he needs to know exactly if they are that person and to lock on a specific thing. So basically, if he wants to go to someone but doesn't know their aura, and just sends his aura around to find them, well, yeah, basically it's hit or miss. If he doesn't tag the right person, he still gets teleported, just not to the right one. And that teleportation has a countdown. Well, cooldown. Basically, you have 20 minutes between each teleportation. So, yeah, basically, you have to be careful. Another ring he has is a ring that allows him to be immune to fire, which is going to be given to someone later, not saying who. A ring that gives you full protection to cold and ice. Okay, yeah, no, I just... Basically, by this point, you should know. It's basically those 2 rings are going to go to Shoto. He's going to be able to go all out without even being scared to harm himself. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. So that's 3 rings out of 5. Another one is a ring that lets him fly. I have to pause again, sorry. Yeah, like I was saying, the 4th ring lets him fly. basically, the Oni for that one was a wind type, and basically the ring in itself gives you the ability to fly. So pretty powerful in itself, because, well, you can fly, literally. The fifth one, uh, yeah, so the fifth one is a ring that allows you, wait, fire protection, ice protection, flight, okay, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why the last ring, for some reason I also put regeneration on it. I know it's not supposed to be that, so I don't get it. I'm going to have to come back to that one to basically put something else, since he's not even going to keep the regeneration. So yeah, going to come back for the fifth ring, because I really don't know why it has regeneration. So yeah, if I count that, it would basically make 7 out of 14. I have 7 more to do. So 2 bracelets, 1 collar, yeah, 2 bracelets, 1 collar. There's a glove, a gauntlet for the other hand, basically a glove on the right hand, gauntlet on the left one. Rings can go under the gauntlet, it's basically made for that. Same thing for the glove. Um, each of those, I'm not going to say which is which, well, except for the color, but basically the two bracelets. One has strength increase, basically giving you a boost in strength constantly. Basically, about 20% of your strength is increased on it. The other one is a speed increase that has the same amount. The glove in particular is basically makes kind of a bubble around your entire body that can absorb shock. Basically, it absorbs shock. About 50% of the hit you take, you don't feel that half of it, basically, of the attack. And the entire shock is absorbed into the glove, which you can then just kind of send back. Basically, think of fat gum, but without the problem of it hitting you back afterward. Problem is, you have to survive the attack that come normally. So that's one thing. The gauntlet in particular is basically to store magic. It's a pure magic Oni that was for that. Basically, if you want to, you can put magic in it, and basically you can keep accumulating it to an almost unlimited amount, which after that you can basically take from it to basically attack with it, or just takes back some of your magic. So that's neat. Um, the um, the necklace is a bit different though. That one was from a water Oni, and it basically allows you to breathe underwater. So that can be helpful. You just breathe. So if I count that one, that makes 12. The other two are basically, well, bracelet as well, but they're for the leg. Basically, at the ankle, you have those. Which both of those have the exact same, um, well, enhancement on them. Enchantment. Why do I keep saying enhancement? But yeah, basically, both of them has gravity Oni souls in them that if you activate them, it basically reduces gravity on you by 20%. Um, they have a time limit, and after that, a cooldown. You have 10 minutes of it, and then it's a 1 hour cooldown. So basically, after finding, well, basically the reason he has two of those is because he found two Onis at the same time, killed them, and basically got from both of them the same enchantment. So that was kind of lucky. He's only going to keep one of those. The other one you might know where it's going, but yeah. So, oh yeah, one thing I should say about the earring with regen on it. The earring itself can regenerate as well, as the passive effect isn't only for that, well, for the body, it's also doing it on it. So as long as 50% of it is still there, you can basically make sure it's going to heal, regen. Problem is, while it's regenerating the other half, or whatever amount that it's going to regen from it, you won't be able to heal during that time. So that's one thing. Um, so deku during that time. Wait, I forgot to say about the two last. Wait, no, those were the two last. Okay, yeah, it's the ring, I forgot. Because the ring, for some reason, has regen, when I know it wasn't supposed to be that. I think it's because I wrote down E-ring right under it with regen. So probably sure it's because I put regen on both because of that. But yeah. I think the enchantment that was supposed to be on the ring was something like hardened skin or something like that increase your defense as well as your attack. Basically think of what Kirishima can do. But don't remember for sure. But yeah, basically let's just say it's that. So yeah. Those are the 14 accessory he has with Onis in them. One last thing he has is actually a weapon, but there's a funny thing about that weapon. It's basically a dagger that he didn't take the Oni himself, which is hilarious. He basically found it. Well, him and his master found it. Basically, they were going through the woods. They found an old shack, basically an old house, that seemed to be completely destroyed. Well, not completely, but really destroyed a lot. Um, and basically, his master scanned it. They found out it was enchanted with two things: a very powerful Oni, that's the magic it has, actually allows it to take control over the body and basically boost all of your powers and make you bigger. Basically, think of Roblox. Well, think of a shoo from Wakfu of it. Well, in fact, basically, when you lose control, they can take control of you. But this one in particular, it's alive. It can talk, but only to the person who's holding it or wearing it, depending of if you have it oh, not actually in your hand. As long as it's basically touching your clothes or in something touching your clothes, it's basically going to be able to talk to you. So yeah, basically the control isn't really that it takes control itself of you, but it boosts your power, making you grow bigger, increasing speed, strength, and everything else. But you keep control. The Oni, though, is still inside of it and is capable of talking. When they looked, well, when they used the search magic to basically see if it was good or evil, they actually saw a pure soul. Which means that it wasn't actually bad. It's actually a good one. Problem is, it was basically sealed into a weapon, meaning that if you break it, the soul is dead. So he basically just helped people. Basically because he doesn't really mind. And as long as the person is good, he'll help. So Deku has a talking weapon that has the same capacity to scan for magic. So yeah, because Onis are still intelligent, for some of them. So he's able to talk. Deku basically has that. The weapon in itself, well, the small knife, is pretty powerful, to be honest. Not in the sense that it's extremely strong, more in the sense that it's extremely hard. Basically, it could practically, well, like every other things made of the special metal from this world, it's pretty much able to break through stuff like metal pretty freaking easily. Meaning that just a small knife is basically able to do a lot. And Deku knows that. So, those are everything that he took. And yeah, basically, with all of those, and if you count every magic he has almost the same strength as All Might, but doesn't use his full strength, only about 20%. And when fighting against someone, instead of fighting against an Oni, he actually goes even lower than that to not kill anyone. So, this is the end of the 7 years. His 12th birthday just happened. And Deku is finally going to go back to his world. Oh yeah, also, for navigating through the worlds, you use a special thing with search magic. Basically what you do is actually scan, well, no, not really scan. It's more that you picture the world you want to go to. If it's connected, well, not really if it's connected, but more like you see the exact, um, an exact trail of what you need to do to be able to actually go to it. Basically, it makes like an aura, like smoke or something like that, that basically stays in front of you and basically makes a trail all the way to a portal that brings there. So if you need to pass through other worlds to do that, it's going to bring you to that world. Then go and you get the points. So basically, this is his last day here. Well, there. Deku is talking to all his friends, to his master, and he finally asks for the last time, "So, what's your name, master?" With the man looking at him and telling, "My name is Vladimir. It was nice meeting you, kid. Hope you can become a great hero, and don't forget, you have to hunt bad Onis. If you find good ones, they can stay. But if they're bad, you have to stop them." So Deku basically, for this last day, what he decided to do was just take as much ores as possible. Basically grabbing every material that he knows won't be on Earth or stuff like that. So different type of crystal, metals, rocks, um, multiple type of woods that cannot be found in the human world. If you plant a seed there for that, it will grow, but right now there's not really any there. So basically Deku took a lot of plants as well, simply to remember of this place, since he still stayed 7 years there. It's his home, kind of. So yeah, basically that's how Deku feels. So he took enough to basically, if he wanted to, make weapons and armors for an entire army. If he wanted to. So now Deku used search magic to basically find his world and finally goes back. When he goes back by the exact same hole he went through, portal. With him looking around and kind of just happy to be back, but at the same time a bit stressed because he knows that search parties, because by this point he's a lot more intelligent, he doesn't know that much about Earth anymore. Like, he doesn't know anything of what happened in the last 7 years. So, that's one thing. Bakugo in this one, since he's finally back, Bakugo is a bit less mean. Reason is because, Deku literally, after he bullied him, disappeared. And he feels as if he literally killed Deku. So he's a lot less of a bully. So he basically gets ready and gets out. Deku is looking around and he has a pretty good hearing, as well as a pretty good sense of smell, view, and whatever else like that because of training. basically he trained to augment all of his senses, like his master only leaving him with the sense, well, with his ability to see, increasing that to a huge amount, only leaving Deku with his ability to smell, increasing that to a huge amount, ability to hear, increasing, and basically you get the point. Basically torturing Deku a huge amount. Because, yeah, no, normal people wouldn't call that training, it's torture. But it still helped Deku. And he basically accepted all of it, so he's kind of the one to blame for that. But yeah, basically by this point, if he has a clear view of things, he could spot your face at around a kilometer away and be able to see every detail of your face, basically telling you a big fuck off. If you're trying to hide yourself, he's going to find you. Hearing, practically the same thing. He has the hearing of an animal. The smallest shuffling of leaves, he will hear it. Smell, the smallest scent, he can smell it. Taste, that's a lot different. That hasn't been trained. Either has his capacity of touch. Those are things that you don't, well, you do need to sense and taste, but basically for the training, you don't have to increase it. So yeah, basically he's just trying to look around, hear or smell if people are around, which he actually smelled two people. Later he hears them, goes towards them, and they're just, well, normal people. Which all all they knew was that at some point there was a kid that actually got lost here. So they basically know that at some point something happened, but yeah, they don't know for sure. But basically, they just saw a guy just kind of arriving out of nowhere. His clothes are basically those of a hunter, so they're not that clean, they're dirty. And he basically asks if they know where to go to civilization, because he's kind of been lost and he's kind of been training in this wood for 7 years. He doesn't know a lot anymore. Which both of them kind of reacted by thinking, oh shit, we found the kid. So Deku basically was brought back to civilization by them. To the police, they checked for DNA, which does match with his mother DNA, which means they called her, and basically she kind of passed over Deku being gone. Hearing that he was back basically made her kind of happy for a while. When she arrived, she basically was crying a lot because, well, her baby finally came back. He told the story that a man basically helped him. Neither of them knew in which direction they needed to go to get out of the forest. And basically, the forest isn't something that's super small. No, 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 no. That's a huge forest they were in. Well, that he was lost in, for what everyone knows. Basically, it goes for over hundreds of kilometers, which means that when Deku explained that someone basically trained him and basically helped him survive, And then that he found out that he had actually a quirk while doing that, which kind of made Inko happy that he was perfectly safe. He had someone who protected him, and basically the excuse Deku gave was that his master had to go away. So Deku was looking for him, well, Deku basically was ready to go away, to go look for, well, civilization. Um, since he wasn't sure where it was, basically had to ask people. His master had helped him by basically teaching him many things, which Inko was happy about because at least he was alive. Basically, after that, well, after a while after that, he was reintroduced in school, which basically what happened was that Bakugo was a lot more humble. Um, Deku basically arrived, and the teacher said it by saying, um, "We have a new student today." He got lost a long time ago in a forest, so he doesn't know that much about civilization anymore. Please be gentle with him. With Bakugo thinking, why does that remember me of something? Until the teacher said, I present to you Izuku Midoriya. Which Bakugo basically got wide-eyed, and when he saw Deku's face, oh yeah, also Deku has all of his weapons on him, basically in a bag that's kind of has magic. Basically, the magic um, in the bag kind of allows the bag to basically act like a not really bottomless pit, but kind of. Basically, there's a lot more space in it than what's on the outside. So basically, he has his dagger in it. Basically, everything is in it when he goes anywhere except his accessory. He has his gauntlet and his glove always on, which multiple people asked him why, and he just said he liked to keep them on. Um, but yeah, basically on the first day of Deku coming back, Bakugo basically asked him multiple times if he truly was Deku, with Izuku kind of not really trying to do this because the only way he remembers Bakugo is as the mean kid who always bullied him. So he just acted as if he didn't know him for a while. But yeah, basically over the next 2 years until he's 14 and the day where he normally meets All Might, basically over that time he basically accepted to go to term with that because he saw how Bakugo acted, which was different. And he finally accepted to actually um, say, yes, it is me, but because of all that you did while I was young, or while we were young, I don't like you. But I can see now that you actually tried to become better. I can accept that. And then basically over the 2 years became friend with Bakugo. Still was a bit reserved by the end of them, but still a good friend. Bakugo got about 10% more powerful by the start of the entrance exam, but that's only because after that he trained with Deku, who he basically saw had a huge amount of power. Like, nobody even gets how he has that much. But yeah, basically, that's where I'm ending it. So, hope you liked it. The three parts of part 0, A, B, and C. Basically, I had to do that because of this stupid um, recorder who can only record about an hour before completely being problem continuing. I can still continue for around an hour and a half, but by the end of it, basically to upload it basically takes around an hour or so. Simply because the more time I have on the video, the longer it takes to upload. That's normal, right? But after 40 minutes, it basically starts increasing by 20 or so minutes of time just uploading, which makes it almost impossible. So yeah, hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section. I'm going to try and answer everything I can. If you just say first or stuff like that, I'm not really going to answer. But yeah, I'm going to leave a link to my Discord in the comment section. No, in the description. Come and join us if you want to. One last thing I want to say. For my 500 sub special, I'm going to start a new series that's going to be short, simply because it's actually going to be a another shield hero. What if? Which only takes about 3 or 4 parts, since there's not that much to go on. But yeah, it's basically going to be that merged with Beaufry, basically the girl who plays a game. Her mind will be teleported, and it's going to take the the physical attribute and the powers of her avatar, basically making her extremely more powerful than, well, anyone. So yeah, hope you liked it. Natsu, out.